welcome back to Starla's Art Studio. Unless you're new, then welcome. Nice to virtually meet you. And today is another Rare Animals as Characters video, which is similar to my Edit Girl series, but this one mixes it up a little. Instead of redrawing things I made like 5 years ago, I'm taking new suggestions from all of you and making little groups with each set of animals as a new set of character designs. This set is all birds. It started out as a suggestion of this current bird on the screen called a golden pheasant. The other two birds weren't suggested, but I wanted to make a group of birds that were unique and different, so I found the other two very interesting species that you'll see later. So as soon as I got the comment for this bird, I googled it and I knew I wanted it to be part of this series. As soon as I saw it, I knew I had to do its head feathers, like that, what is it, early 2000s hairstyle with that horizontal stripes? Emo scene? Yeah, that's what it looks like. I didn't know it was called that, so I had to do some research, but I thought it looked just like the feathers on this bird's head. So that's what I did with part of this girl's hair. So yeah, as soon as I saw the pictures of this colorful little bird, I was quite sold on the idea of doing a set of bird characters. So, how about a few fun pheasant facts? According to animalcorner.org, a golden pheasant is also known as the Chinese pheasant, as this popular, colorful bird is native to the mountainous forests of western and central China. It first came to the UK about 100 years ago. More facts from both animalcorner.org and justbirding.com are that they're pretty shy birds. That's what inspired the pose and expression of this character. The average pheasant is about 43 to 44 inches or 109 to 111 centimeters tall, and the females are usually around 26 or 66 centimeters. They seem to be around the size or a bit bigger than chickens. The tails are also really long, as you can tell by the pictures. They can fly, but they're a little clumsy at it. That's cute. They can usually fly for short distances, but their long tails and relatively short wings make it tricky for them to fly any longer than that. Along with being quite shy birds, they're also not very aggressive, and they're apparently pretty easy to tame if you're patient. Kinda like another animal I know of. Their lifespan in the wild is usually 5 or 6 years, while in captivity they usually live as long as 15 years. It also says a golden pheasant's eggs are edible and similar to duck eggs. Aw, their predators are humans, dogs, foxes, wildcats, and other smaller critters that often eat their eggs, or birds. Their natural habitat is shadowy, thick forests and woodsy areas. They usually spend their time on the ground, but they sleep in tall trees at night, which does remind me of Minecraft and how I used to build my houses. I used to like building them on high tree houses and jungles and such. Anyways, golden pheasants eat berries, seeds, grains, and other greens found on the forest floors, like bamboo. They eat grubs, spiders, and bugs as well. They're also known as a painter pheasant because of their colors. Like I mentioned before, golden pheasants are shy birds who hide in the dark places of their habitat, which is what inspired the pose and expression of this character. I was also inspired by the males of this bird species, kind of like how peacock outfits are often inspired by the male peacocks rather than the peahens. Similar to peacocks and peahens, male golden pheasants are the ones with the bright, colorful feathers, while the females look more brownish, so they can hide easier in the wild. For this character, I gave her 2 main colors in her hair. Like the bird's head, I gave her bright yellow eyes and a red outfit. There's also some blue and purple and orange, like the colors of the bird. And for her shoes, I gave her some orange pumps to match the buckle of her belt and some of her hair. Along with that, for her hair, I gave her those horizontal stripes that I mentioned before to match the pheasant's head, and I gave her an open cardigan type sweater to be similar to the wings of the bird. I gave her either a top and shorts or just a jumpsuit. Honestly, it could be either one. But her shorts are kind of puffy at the bottom to look like the feathers right over the bird's legs. I wanted the material of her outfit to overall look really shiny, lightweight, and yeah, pretty much like the bird feathers. Her cardigan-like feather thing is floor length, and it starts off red and purple with a blue trim and reaches all the way down behind her to resemble the feathers and tail feathers of the golden pheasant. Well, at this point her design is basically done, so here's the completed drawing of... Oh yeah, they don't have names. Okay, so that's where you guys come in. If you have any names for her and any of the following characters, feel free to drop them in the comments. What do you think her name should be? This next bird character was not a suggestion, but I think I just heard it from a family member. This bird is called a purple martin. It's really interesting. I really wanted to draw it after learning about its very interesting living space preferences. They apparently only really like living in homes made by people. They seem to especially like ones mounted up in the air and made from hollowed out gourds. Another fun thing about this character is that there was a vote on whether to make her a guy or a girl character, because if you've been on my Instagram, by the way, follow my Instagram at starlas_art_studio. I mostly draw girl characters, and I wanted to be able to throw in a few guys in the mix. Also, when I have the time, I love to do little votes for upcoming videos, so be sure to follow me on Insta and Twitter, so whenever they show up, you can be a part of it. The vote for the purple martin turned out to be very close, but the result was to make the character a girl. And for the drawing, I decided to make the character based on the way the character looked and some of its characteristics, but not as strongly as with the golden pheasant. Some facts about this bird come from the sites allaboutbirds.org and animals.net. These pretty purple pájaros, or birds, originated in North America. They're mostly found in the east of North America. In the summer, they love to hang around and live in little houses and condos that people make for them in their yards. Near the end of summer, they migrate south, similar to other birds, often near the Gulf of Mexico. They usually hunt and get their food and water at night. They swoop down and scoop up things with their lower bills. Apparently, there's also a Purple Martin Conservation Association that gives more info and promotes the study of these neato little birds. In the past, Native Americans seem to have hung up hollowed-out gourds for these birds hundreds of years before the Europeans arrived. So it seems like these birds have really gotten used to people making them homes for hundreds of years. That's cool. The oldest purple martin was discovered in 1933 and was believed to have been 11 years and 9 months old. These birds are known to be the largest swallow species in the world, at about 8 inches or 20 centimeters long. This does sound pretty small, but it is twice the size of the smallest species of swallow. And although they're called purple martins, they're mostly a pretty shiny deep blue color. So I didn't really get to use much purple in the design, but I did have fun with the dark blues, blacks, and gray color scheme. These birds are quite active and, like I mentioned before, eat and drink while they're flying. They eat insects, and because they live close to people's homes, purple martins are often said to make pretty good neighbors. They commonly eat flies, flying ants, beetles, mosquitoes, crickets, wasps, bees, dragonflies, grasshoppers, and a lot of other bugs that people don't usually want around their house. So that's pretty cool. Despite living so close to people, they live pretty independently. Humans haven't really bothered domesticating them at all. And for anyone who doesn't know, domestication is simply the process of taking an animal and training it and breeding it over many generations to be more suitable for human needs. Like dogs. And because of these birds' lack of domestication, they don't make the best pets. Another reason they don't make the best pets is because of their active lives and diets. They need a lot of space for flying and hunting. They're also not very common to find in zoos or other caretaking facilities because of these reasons. It's also probably why there are conservation efforts for them. They have a pretty specific way of living and they kind of depend on humans for making homes. These birds are also quite social and live in big flocks and can be seen roosting with each other. They usually hunt by themselves or with a mate though. So for this character design, I wanted her to look sporty and active. I wanted to give her a pose that seemed like she was on the go and just saying hi real quick. I gave her a long ponytail to be somewhat like the tail feathers. She's wearing a visor that becomes a half quilted mesh cap later, a tank top and workout leggings, with a loose jacket with some fashionable high tops. She also has a choker necklace and a fanny pack on the side. I was having trouble with her hands for some reason and what pose to give them, so I'm pretty sure in the sketch you can see how I was shifting them around, moving her arms around before I chose one to stay with. Okay, one thing that really sucked when I was recording the coloring for this is that it was going for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, but for whatever reason when I was trying to save the recording, it crashed. My screen recording program just crashed and it was pretty unexpected because that usually doesn't happen with what I use, but it just crashed and I lost the footage, so that sucked, but I just re-recorded me revealing each layer so you can see that in the recording. But yeah, it's fine. I don't have the recording of me coloring it, but I do show each layer of the drawing so you can see all the little colored layers that were put together to make this character. But better the screen recording got corrupted than the Photoshop file and I lost the drawing, so thankfully I still have the Photoshop image right here, and you can see how she turned out. I kept the blue, navy, gray, and black color scheme throughout her design. The bird itself has a lot of really shiny feathers, so I wanted her clothes to look a little pretty, shiny, a little reflectiveness and the silver here and there. Okay, so her design is basically done now. If you have any suggestions for her name, feel free to put it in the comments. And time for the last but definitely not least character design. Okay, so this third one was quite the fun one. Okay, so this bird is called a Dracula parrot, and as soon as I saw this bird and heard its name, oh my gosh, I was so excited. I knew I had to include it in this list. But similar to the purple martin, I had ideas for both a guy and a girl character design, so to Instagram I went, and I held a poll for you guys to vote for whether to make this character a girl or a guy. And again, follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you can be part of votes like these for future videos. But for the poll, the vote was also super close, but more votes were to make this character a guy. Also, fun fact, as the votes were going on, it was a perfect 50-50 tie for a few hours, but then more votes were leaning for girl for the Dracula parrot and boy for the purple martin, which I thought would be neat because purple martin sounds like a guy's name, but then it's flipped over so purple martin is a girl, while the Dracula parrot is a guy. Which means this character will be the first... Oh, this will be the first guy character to ever be in one of my videos? Really? Oh my gosh, make sure to give him a good name. He'll be the very first. Oh wait. No, I'm sorry. No, he wasn't. The first one was the elephant, Elmer the elephant, which you can totally go and watch this video later, but Elmer the elephant is the character that my little sister came up with if you saw the video drawing suggestions from a special guest. She made up a cute little elephant character and I drew him and gave him a name. So this one will be the first human guy character that will be on the channel and you all get to name him. Alright, so for his outfit, I thought I was gonna go for one of those super groomed vampire looks that show up in like mobile games or something. But I thought that might have been a bit too predictable and I wanted to focus on this parrot's looks and where it came from. So, tales about vampires come from Eastern Europe, which isn't where this bird originates from, so I decided not to do that. But speaking of this bird's origin, I almost really messed up. So I googled where it was from and I read New Guinea, and I'm like, oh yeah, isn't that West African country? Oh fun! And then I started googling for suits and fancy styles from that region. I looked into the culture a bit and was starting to brainstorm and get all excited. But then I went back and looked at information about the parrot. And I noticed something. I was looking at the wrong country. Guinea is a West African country, but New Guinea, also known as Papua New Guinea, is an island north of Australia. Very different. Geography is important. That's PSA, there you go. My geography teacher's gonna be mad at me. I took geography last year. Okay, anyways, so I went back and started looking for those things in this country. I was looking for how people dressed in New Guinea. I read that many business settings are often pretty casual, short sleeves because it's quite hot here. Initially, I gave this character a big draping suit with a ruffled tie to look like the parrot's chest feathers. I definitely made the design based very strongly on the bird, but I did change a few things like having the shorter sleeves for the weather. I wanted the fabric to look kind of light, but I did very heavily base it on the fact that the parrot's feathers look very thick and fluffy. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but in the sketch, the last thing I sketched was his face. And that's because I knew that would be what I spent the most time on because I know for a fact I don't draw male faces as much. So the look I was going for I knew was going to be kind of off. So while the recording of the first sketch was saving, I went back and started drawing his face like 2 or 3 more times until I got the current one. I think he looks better like this, but you can tell me in the comments if you prefer this one or the first one. But yeah, I think this one looks better than the first one. I had to go back a few times, but I got the look I was going for. I used a lot of dark colors from the bird, and people who live in this country also naturally have darker skin, so I feel like that worked really well with the design of the Dracula parrot. I think the parrot itself has this really cool kind of serious look, so I wanted to give that kind of vibe with this character. So, a few facts about this parrot are from roaring.earth and parrotwebsite.com. Very straightforward. Okay, so this parrot lives in the hills and mountainous rainforests in New Guinea. And according to the website, despite its big black and red look and it being called a Dracula parrot, it's not at all like a vampire. It's pretty chill. For the most part, it has a simple little diet of sweet little figs and other fruit. However, it does have quite the call, or as the parrot website puts it, a horrifying sound it makes. It's been described as harsh and raspy. Experts say it screams frequently when it flies. Probably a little startling for anyone who's nearby. When fully grown, these parrots are quite large and the size of a small child, about 18 inches or almost a meter from beak to tail. It also has little feathers on the back of its head, which inspired the hairstyle I gave the character. They seem to be rather social birds. They travel in pairs or in groups of 20 or more other parrots. Unlike the other two birds, the males and females look pretty similar, except males usually have a red dot on their head right behind their ears. They're very rare, which means they're endemic or can only be found in this region, and there aren't many left in the world and are considered endangered and have faced hunting because of their unique look, trade, and meat. So back to the character design, I gave him a dark fluffy tie to be like the chest feathers, and a big coat to be like the top feathers, and black dress shoes. I made the inside of the coat red, and most of the rest of his clothes are a vibrant red color. I personally really like the contrast. I think it's really cool. And I overall like how his design turned out. I've never drawn a suit before, and I felt kind of proud that I could draw and color a little fancy suit and little fancy shoes. But of course, you guys can tell me what you think about it, if you thought maybe should have had different types of shoes, or maybe a different part of his clothes should have been shiny to be like the feathers, whatever your thoughts on it are. But yeah, this character is basically finished. I'm just adding the last few details on his shoes, and besides that, it's done. So, what do you guys think? What do you think of his design and the designs of the others? I spent a really long time on them and I really like how they turned out. Which one is your favorite? And remember to leave your name suggestions in the comments. I can't wait to read what you guys think. Oh yeah, and speaking of names, here were the names for the characters from the last Rare Animals video. There's Ellie the Sea Bunny Girl, Sapphire the Blue Sea Dragon, and DJ Bianca the Glass Octopus. And if you didn't already know, they have stickers. Some Sea Bunny stickers were already bought, and I'm really excited because I think they're just so cute, and so did the person who bought them. I really have fun making them and mailing them and seeing pictures when you guys send them back, because I've gotten pictures and they're so cute. It makes me so excited to see you guys enjoy them. So I hope if you haven't already, you can visit the store and see them for yourself. Alrighty, and the 3 drawings from this video are the golden pheasant, the purple martin, and the Dracula parrot. Once again, feel free to leave whatever name suggestions you have for them in the comments, and I can't wait to read through them. Well, that's it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed watching. I'll definitely be posting them on my social media. I can't wait to see what you guys think, and I might even make stickers of them. Oh yeah, and one last quick thing is that I redrew Brooke the Banana Girl. I hope to make stickers of her as well, so if I see a lot of you guys like the stickers, she might be the next one to have stickers. And just in case any of you didn't already know, I have an Etsy shop called Starla's Art Studio Shop where I am selling stickers, and I hope to one day have a few new little special things there than just stickers, but for now, there are fun little stickers available, all based off of the Edit Girls and Rare Animal characters that I draw here. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed all the art that just got dumped in this video, and I hope you have a stellar day. Bye!